Hey everyone, welcome back to Pokémon Insurgence. I hope everybody is staying happy, healthy, and safe. On the last part, we've been doing quite a bit of legendary hunting, and we also got some other deltas along the way, but it's been mostly legendaries. And on this part, we are going to continue that trend just a little bit. We have a few more legendaries to capture. It's only about a handful, and they're actually all Generation 5 legendaries. And then we're going to complete some other side quests and maybe start a different arc of what's left of the story. So we're starting off here in Midtown, and that's for a very, very good reason. Also, I can't remember if I turned off the repels or not. Okay, good. So we're starting off here in Midtown because it's easier to get to Route 1 from there, and from Route 1 to the Dark Cave, that's over here, and from the Dark Cave, we will arrive in Midna Garden, which is right over here. Over here in Midna Garden, we'll actually find a Manaphy statue. I don't believe I showed this one off when I was backtracking with Heartswap originally, and that's for good reason. All you find right here is a Carbos, unless you have Waterfall. And of course, we couldn't have had Waterfall because you can only get that in Holland. However, thankfully we do have it now, so if we venture up over here, we can find Cobalion. So I'm going to drop a safety save. And we're going to capture this thing. Hopefully. Alright, so I just got my Cobalion right here. Got the Dex entry, and it's going to go straight to my PC. And we're basically done here, but there is one Pokemon that's connected to Cobalion, as well as the other Swords of Justice that we can now grab because we have them all. So we're going to travel to Heke Town. I'm just going to go into my PC really quickly, and I'm going to grab the other Swords of Justice. So we now have Cobalion here, we now have Berzion, and we also have Terrakion right here. And then I just have Mew, Venusaur, and Tangrowth, just hopefully so that they can take a few hits as necessary. Actually, I'll probably put Tangrowth in the front here. And actually, I don't need to heal up, that's dumb of me. So we're going to be heading from here into the Murk Forest, and if you remember, there was a clearing in the Murk Forest where I said nothing interesting happened. Well, now something interesting is actually happening. The power of the Pokemon in our party sent a ripple through space-time. I'm not really sure how that works, but we'll find Keldeo right here. Well, I'm going to drop a save, and we will encounter the Keldeo. I really like this event, mainly because it's kind of reminiscent of the Keldeo event in Black and White 2. Like, it's really, the area looks kind of similar. You have that big rock in the middle. So hopefully Tangrowth over here can tank some hits from Keldeo. I mainly picked this because Tangrowth is actually pretty bulky on the physical side, and it doesn't need to be bulky on the special side because it has dry skin. Alright, there we go, and we finally have the Keldeo right here. So again, we have the Pokedex entry right there, and it's going to go to our PC. Thankfully, we don't need to retrieve this one. And instead, we can move on to hunting down our next legendary. So if you remember correctly, back in the Safari, we started an event that led us to finding Thundurus. Well, we're going to be heading back to the Safari again because there's another legendary lurking there. Alright, so now we're here in Nazca Town, which is the home of the Safari Zone. We're going to be heading over to the Safari Zone right over here. So we're just going to talk to the nice man over here, give him 500 Pokédollars for no good reason, and head on into the Safari Zone. So there's actually a certain place we want to head to over here. So we're going to head through the desert section and then up into this watery area. And if you remember, there were waterfalls right over here. Well, we can now scale them. And if we scale them and come up over here, we'll find this guy. Apparently he's not too happy to see us though, and he runs away. So this starts the Tornadus chase, which is basically an event where we chase down Tornadus through a bunch of different routes until we can actually capture it. So this isn't quite like a roaming legendary, but it's close enough, and if you don't know where to go, it's a little bit frustrating. So our first location is kind of on Route 15. Actually, I don't want to use my bike because that would be too fast. So Tornadus actually heads off to Route 6. However, it heads off to the underside of Route 6, which means we have to go over here to Route 15, and we actually have to head the underside. And if we make our way all the way over here, we'll find a Hoopa portal that we previously used that leads to the underside of Route 6. This is the only way to get down here, and the only way to encounter Tornadus down here. So now that we've done that, I believe we actually want to head to Mount Rose. So we're going to start off here in Amphitrite City, and we're going to make our way all the way over here. So this is Mount Rose base. We don't really want to be here. He's not here. So we're going to head through the abandoned checkpoint. And we're going to head up these stairs. And it should be over sort of towards the right, if I recall correctly. So I believe it's up one more level. Then right over here, you want to head to the right, rock climb up here, and talk to him. So the next spot is actually going to be on Route 15 again, which probably seems a little bit weird, but it's actually going to be on Route 15. It's not going to be on Route 6. So if we head on all the way over here, and eventually over here, we'll see Tornadus again. And finally, its final location is actually going to be on Victory Road. So we're going to head on over to the Pokemon League and head on backwards. And here we are. This time you want to do a safety save because we will actually be battling it. Alright, there we go. We have caught Tornadus, the only pure flying type Pokemon in the game at this point, which is pretty cool. But that's not all we can do with it. So I'm actually going to be heading up to the Pokemon League just so I can use the PC. And we're going to be collecting Tornadus and Thundurus. And as soon as we grab them, we are actually going to be going ahead and heading on to the Reside Desert. Alright, so I'm here in Rogantown, for starters. So right here, south of the casino, we're going to head into the Reside Desert. And again, keep in mind having Tornadus and Thundurus in your party. You want to head all the way over here to this rock formation. If we head right to the spot, we'll have a summoning cutscene. It's probably one of my favorite icons, actually. Although, I don't know about that cry. Anyways, we want to do a safety save right here, and we can talk to and capture Landorus, the scourge of competitive Pokemon in VGC. Alright, there we go. We've got Landorus now. It talks a lot. I want to point something out, okay? So, the energy that comes pouring from its tail increases the nutrition in the soil, making crops grow to great size. I don't know if anybody has played Black and White or Black and White 2, but you know that Landorus is sort of the Pokemon of the harvest. So I'm not really a fan of the fact that it's actually out here in the desert, because it's cool. It's a ground type. It kind of fits, but it also kind of doesn't. Anyways, that is all the legendary hunting that we can actually do for the moment, which feels weird because there are some legends that we can still go out and technically capture. Well, we haven't captured them yet, and we technically can't capture them right now, but we can trigger events for them in a little bit. However, there is something else that I've been putting off for quite a while, and I want to handle it now. And that something is actually snowball hunting. To put it simply, there are multiple NPCs in-game that will provide you with rewards depending on how many snowballs that you give them. However, snowballs are actually quite the rare commodity in Tauren and Holland, as it would be. you can't actually just go to the department store and just buy them, which is actually pretty cool. Instead, you actually have to go to the different snowy areas in-game and collect them. So these areas are going to be Dayron Town, Victory Road, Holland Mountain, Settlement Juliet, and No Man's Land. And unfortunately, if you want every single reward, you will have to visit each of these areas and collect every single snowball. And to put this in perspective, we need about 70 snowballs, and there's only 73 available in each of these areas. So to start it off, we're going to talk to this guy. Hey, never seen you around here before. I'm supposed to have a giant snowball brawl with a bunch of brats, but I can't be expected to do manual work like making snowballs. So, I'll make a deal with you. You bring me snowballs, and I'll make it worth your while. Sound good? Let's start off small to prove to me that you're not worthless. Bring me 5 snowballs, and I'll give you a reward. Alright, so the first 5 is actually found here in Dayron Town, and you could have done this a long time ago, but then again, the reward's pretty bad. So, you already saw the one that was next to him. There's that one there. There is one over here on this rock. The final 2 are going to be down here in the lower part of town. So that's another snowball. And finally, right here. Alright, let's go see what kind of cheap reward he has for us. If we make our way all the way up over here. Not bad, but we're just getting started. Here, take this. It'll give us an ice gym for our troubles. What's with that look? Those are worth a fortune, you know? No offense, men, but I can buy those really, really cheaply at the Battle Frontier. Anyways, for your next mission, let's ramp things up a bit. Bring me 10 snowballs this time, and I'll give you another magnificent reward. So, the easiest way to get those next 10 snowballs, even though we have to get them all eventually, is to actually head to Victory Road. So we're going to head to Victory Road here, and we're going to go backwards. Not only is it faster to get to the icy part backwards, but it's also just easier, especially on the ice puzzles. Because if we go forwards, we actually have to solve the ice puzzles. If we don't, well, we kind of just don't. So here on the frosty part of Victory Road, there is our first snowball. Second one is going to be over here. I'm going to dodge that trainer, and the third one will be over here. We'll have to go through here, unfortunately. So if I remember, we can just kind of go like this. And the next one should actually be over here, with another one down over here. And another one, unfortunately, down over here. Again, we'll have to go through another ice puzzle, but thankfully we're just kind of going backwards, so we can just blunder around. I'm actually blundering pretty badly. Oh wait, I think I remember now. Okay. There we go. So in this part, we're going to find another snowball right up there. Another one right over here. Should be one over here on these rocks. And then there should be another one on this rock. And I think there should also be one, is it right over here? And then finally, there should be one on this rock down over here. So that gives us another 12 snowballs, which means we can actually go straight to Dayron Town immediately and collect our next reward. So this is nice because this kind of minimizes the amount of visits that we actually have to make. Great. I knew I could count on you. Here's your reward. So he'll give us the Never Melt Ice, which again, pretty bad. There's plenty of ice around here, but for some reason, that ice doesn't melt even if I take it with me into Rose Crater. I can't imagine why. Alright, I'm pulling out all the stops this time, since you've proven that you're kind of reliable. No more messing around. bring me 55 snowballs this time, and you'll get something nice for your troubles. Alright, so unfortunately this means that we are going to have to visit all 3 areas and collect every single snowball there. So we're going to start with No Man's Land, because that is kind of in Torn, technically. I mean, it's a weird technicality. So we're just going to head on over here to the gym. Head on to the underground, the man cave. I think that's what he called it. I think that's what the player character's dad actually calls it. But over here is going to be No Man's Land. So unfortunately, we're going to have to run around and collect all the snowballs here. This is probably the worst part of it. No Man's Land is just a really, really weird place. So it also probably doesn't help that it has that music playing in the background that gives you the feeling that something terrible happened. It's that really, really foreboding music. So that's not fun. It's not really a good time. Anyways, we kind of want to head up here. And I actually want to be jumping down some of these ledges. We want to make our way to that rock climb spot. There's nothing useful down here except the snowball that's on the side of this rock, unfortunately. It's kind of weird. You wouldn't go down there for any other reason. You really, really wouldn't. And now we're going to continue climbing up here. Anyways, we have to be very careful not to jump off that ledge, and we're going to be heading right over here, grabbing that snowball off that boulder, and we're actually going to go back down here. So that crater does have one more use. Well, it's not really use. But if we go up over here, there's actually some rock climb spots. So we can kind of rock climb our way up here. And over in this section right here, there should be a snowball right here on that rock. So far so good. We can also rock climb up to this spot right over here. And doing so is kind of convenient because there's also a snowball in the middle of this rock puzzle right on that rock right there. And then of course we can jump on over here, grab the snowball off of that rock before heading back up over here. Again, there's another snowball here. We could actually skip the last 2 if you really, really want to. If you really just don't feel like dealing with them, you could skip the last 2 or 3. But we're going to grab them all. So the final snowball for No Man's Land is going to be right up here. So that's all of them for now, which means our next location is going to be the Holland Mountain. Alright, so we are here in Settlement Juliet. We're going to backtrack just a little bit to the Holland Mountain. And there's only 5 snowballs here. They're pretty easy to grab. These are the easiest snowballs to grab aside from Damian Town, pretty much. I'm actually going to post a wiki link to the Insurgence wiki, which has locations for all the snowballs, just in case you get a little bit lost. It's also helpful because technically, while you're traveling, you could collect them as you go, but it's really not that difficult to do it either way. The only reason I'm actually doing it this way is because it's more organized for me. So those were the 5 snowballs for the Holland Mountain. And next up, we have the snowballs in Settlement Juliet. Settlement Juliet has over 40 snowballs, which is really, really weird. I'm not really sure how I feel about that, because it has more snowballs than pretty much any other area by a large margin. I think Victory Road had like 12 at most, so it's a very, very large jump. I think there should also be one down here. Right, there we go. So the nice thing about the Settlement Juliet snowballs, though, is fortunately some of them actually come in multiples. So there should be a couple spots where we get like 4 or 5 snowballs. So we haven't reached that yet. For now, we're just grabbing them one at a time. But I believe right over here, if we slide right here and grab this, there will be 5 snowballs in that spot. which is pretty nice. I mean, I didn't want to have to go around to 5 different locations to grab them. There's 3 right there. Again, there's a lot of snowballs back here. And there's also an NPC over here that we'll be talking to after we deal with the whole snowball thing in Damian Town. Because, well, they too seem to want snowballs. There's also another batch of 5 snowballs right up there. Again, you can't miss these 5 snowball spots. You absolutely can't. You can skip like any of the single snowball slots, but you can't miss these. You can miss in total, I think, about 3. So we're almost done. There should be this spot right over here. And finally, there should be this spot right here. So I'm going to go in my bag really, really quickly just to show it off. We have 58 snowballs, and of those 58, we need to give 55 of them over. But that's it. We've collected basically every snowball in the game. So let's head back to Damian Town and grab our reward. So back here at Damian Town, we can talk to this guy. Amazing. I can't imagine how far you went to get your hands on all these. I mean, literally, I've never worked for anything in my life. Take this. You've definitely earned it. And he will give us the TM for Ice Beam. I was planning to use that as a last resort in case I lost to those kids, but it looks like I won't need it at this point. I hear it's pretty bad as far as ice-type techniques are concerned, though. I should know. My dad used to be an expert trainer. I'd better be off. Can't have those brats thinking I'm scared of them, you know? See you around. That's amazing. I love that so much. So when he calls the TM for Ice Beam really, really bad, and he's off to fight a snowball fight with children, and he planned on using Ice Beam on them as a last resort. It's just amazing. Anyways, once we've done that side quest, and once we've also taken care of the Delta Mischievous side quest right over here, we can talk to the girl over here, and she's pretty happy. Say, were you the one who helped the boy that usually hangs out by the pond make snowballs? He challenged all of the kids who were younger than him to a snowball fight, but lost as soon as the fight started. Someone threw a snowball and hit him in the face. He was carrying around so many snowballs that he couldn't even protect himself. But anyways, the fight stopped there after he ran home crying, so we picked up all the snowballs that he dropped on the ground. We don't really need them anymore, so you can have them. And she will give us 100 snowballs. All of us added some more to say thanks. Come play with us again. So those 100 snowballs are actually really, really useful. And the reason for that is going to be in Settlement Juliet. Alright, here in Settlement Juliet, you remember what I said about a certain NPC wanting snowballs. Well, if we come up over here, we have this guy. Look at all these boring people running around and trying to do all these things in the name of science. Science is cool and all, but I'd rather not have to be around all these people who go around acting like they've got a stick up their butt all day, you know? Listen, look different from the rest of the people in the settlement, so I figure you'll be able to help me out with my plans. My mission is for you to bring me 100 snowballs, so I can stand up here and peg anyone who looks like they're trying too hard to control everything that's going on here. Science is meant to be fun, you know? Anyways, I'll be waiting for good news from you. Holy Miltank, you actually got 100 snowballs? Okay, honestly, I was just messing with you and wasn't expecting you to get that many. I'll take 50 off your hands and you can keep the rest. Here, you can have these for all your troubles. Now, let the games begin. I like this guy. Honestly, the Snowball questline is just really, really fun. I really like Insurgence's humor on that. I have no idea what I just attempted to say. So we actually keep 50 of the snowballs, and that leaves us with 53, but he also gives us a ton of Ivy Stones. So I haven't really been using them, so hopefully they're somewhere in my bag. Alright, here they are. I found them. So he gives you 15. That means combined with the other 5 random Ivy Stones that you're going to find throughout the game, you have 20 in total, and that's enough to fully perfect the IVs of 3 Pokemon. And let's be honest, due to beneficial natures and whatnot, and the fact that you're probably not going to be using both attacking stats, unless you're running a mixed attacker, that's actually in reality 4 sets of perfect IVs for Pokemon. Different Pokemon, which is actually huge, and this is something I definitely recommend doing, especially before going into the battle tower or the other battle facilities. Also, a bit of a random mention, but yeah, Ice Beam is a really late game TM, unfortunately. However, it's not all bad, and if you play Black and White, you're kind of used to it. Anyways, we still have some more time here, so I'm thinking what we're going to be doing is we're actually going to be heading back to the Dream Realm. So to do so, I'm going to head back to Coral Town. Alright, here in Coral Town, we're actually going to be heading to Route 5 from here. If you remember, there was actually certain spots that we could waterfall up over here. And if we waterfall up this spot and head into this cave, as well as rock climb up over here, we can go ahead and use our hyperspace hole to enter the Dream Realm. Once again. So, welcome back to Erebus City. Doesn't look that good, does it? I see. Oh, it's great to see you. We're not in such a great state right now. Here, come on into the gym. There's a back entrance. We need to talk. I'm so glad you came back. You really have a knack for showing up at the right time. Erebus City is a mess right now. That Deoxys virus that followed you down here? Well, remember all of Persephone's cultists that Darkrai sent down? They've all gotten changed. They're all a part of that old guy's side now. I'm not exactly sure how it works. We're trying our best to hold them off. I've been fighting dozens at once. But there's too many of them now. We need a trump card. I see. I'm not sure how much you know about how the Dream Realm works. Obviously, it exists in your mind, all of this. But humanity's Dream Realm is all one land. There aren't separate realms for each person. The parts of the Dream Realm for each person are separated by dangerous Badlands. In theory, by traveling through Badlands, you could end up in somebody else's Dream Realm. It's dangerous. Nobody's ever really tried. But somewhere, in the center of it all, connecting the realms, is Rim Village. Rim Village, according to the stories, is the place between all the Dream Realms, where Darkrai rest. We need to convince Darkrai to join us. A Pokemon like that could surely turn the tides of battle. Will you help us? Of course. Thank you. So much. I have a Pokemon that can teleport you to Prion Town, but from there, you'll have to make your own way. The Badlands are just to the west of it. Be safe. I believe in you. Alakazam, come on out. Alakazam, show them what you can do. Teleport. So he will teleport us all the way over here to Prion Town, or Prion site rather. So from here we can go ahead and head on over here and use the Chansey if we need to. This is not something you should be doing unless you're prepared, because there is no turning back at this point. So I want to mention something. Make sure that you have a decent team with you, and make sure that you have some Pokeballs with you as well. So if you can look over here, I've still got 71 Ancient Balls, some Snowballs and whatnot, so we should be pretty good. But as I was saying, you can't go back. if you try to go back, you will get a text box that says, I need to go through the Nightmare Badlands to find Darkrai, which is pretty unfortunate. There's also no PC here, so the Pokemon that you have on you, it's what you've got. So unfortunately, we have no choice. We have to go to the Badlands over here. So here in the Nightmare Badlands, also, I should mention, I believe it's over here that you could kind of see Hoopa for a while. At least I think it was. Or maybe it was over there. I'm not really sure, but you're going to notice that there's a lot of Darkrai cultists wandering around, and we're going to be avoiding them. I don't really feel like dealing with them right now. So thankfully we can avoid them because they'll just kind of be wandering about aimlessly. So we can just sort of walk past most of them. So eventually we'll reach a spot right up here, and you're going to notice that there is a relic song wall right over here. I don't recommend dealing with this right now. So we will deal with this on the way back, but not right now. Also down over here is actually the TM for Lunar Cannon. So if you don't recall, it is basically the dark type solar beam. So it takes 2 turns to charge unless you're using it in darkness. And it does kind of good damage. And up here is going to be Rim Village. So I'm going to reorganize my team just a little bit. I think I want Escavalier in the front right here. I realize I have triple fairies right now, but we should be fine. Do you even have anything? You know what? That'll be fine. That'll be fine. So I'm going to save right here, and we're going to move up here. Oh no. Absolutely not. You are not beating me to Rim Village. I don't even have any assistants anymore. That virus turned all of the members of my group into weird Deoxys things. You've already trapped me down here in this miserable hole. And then I learn that Darkrai lives here? My only chance of escaping? I've been here for days trying to climb my way up. You are not going to beat me there. You've taken everything from me, but you're not going to take this. Darkrai is mine, and I am going to figure out a way out of here. You're going down. Wow, that was pretty heated. So here is going to be our last battle with Persephone, and also the reason why I wanted to wait on using that relic song spot. So we start off here with the Spiritomb. As the Spiritomite, so you know it's going to Mega Evolve, gain Tough Claws, gain a ton of stats, has Sucker Punch, Shadow Sneak, Shadow Claw, and Will-O-Wisp. So I'm actually going to go ahead and just play rough on this thing. I gave Escavalier a Choice Band, so we're going to do some massive damage right here, even though it's going to burn us. It's actually well over half HP right there. And she did not like that. So she switched out into her Undoom, has Flash Fire, has Life Orb, has Dark Pulse, Fire Blast, Nasty Plot, and Hidden Power Grass. So I really don't feel like dealing with this thing. But I also don't have anything to deal with it. Alright, that's fine. I'm just going to keep hitting it with Play Roughs, because it'll probably Nasty Plot up, and I'll probably end up knocking it out anyways. So that's kind of unfortunate. That's fine. Escavalier did pretty alright, and it did stall out the darkness, and I don't think she actually has a way of sending it again. So we should be doing pretty alright. I guess I'll just send in Regigigas right here. I did keep Regigigas around because I did want to show it off just a little bit more. So I'm going to go ahead and Power Punch this thing. Should knock it out and give me that attack boost. She can send in Metagross right here, which has the Clear Body, Choice Band, Meteor Mash, send Headbutt, Ice Punch, and Hammer Arm, but +1 Primal Regigigas with Stab Earthquake. That thing is not living. She's also got the Alakazam right here. I don't know why everybody seems to have an Alakazam, but it has Magic Guard, has the Focus Sash, has Psyshock, Energy Ball, Focus Blast, and Shadow Ball. So I'm just going to go ahead and Power Punch this just to break the Sash. And then I'll drop an Earthquake on it. But yeah, I mentioned that earlier, but everybody seems to have an Alakazam for some reason. I don't know why, but it's like they don't recognize that other Psychic-type Pokemon could exist. Right here we have the Hydreigon, has Levitate, has the Expert Belt, has Dark Pulse, Fire Blast, Draco Meteor, and Roost. So I think I'll hit this with a Crush Grip. Pretty good damage. And finally, we have the Gengar. So this is Generation 6 Gengar. Has Levitate, has Life Orb, has Sludge Bomb, Dazzling Gleam, Shadow Ball, and Destiny Bond. So unfortunately, there's not much I can do with it. I'm gonna have to Heavy Slam. But that's fine. And finally, Spiritomb is going to come back in here. It really can't do anything to me, although actually it did knock me out. Well, that was unfortunate. But I also have Logans right here, so it's probably not going to do too much to me, and I can just Moonblast. Alright, so that's pretty nice. We actually got to show off Primal Regigigas right there. I don't even know why I get surprised at this point. I don't know what kind of dumb plot armor you have, but it's not something I can beat on my own. But I can wait. Darkrai has been around for longer than you have, and it'll be around for longer than you will. It'll come back here eventually. I'm patient. I can outlast you. That I know. I'll be seeing you again real soon. I see. I'm gonna be honest. I would pity her if she didn't basically ruin the main character's life. Like, she would be a very sympathetic character if not for that fact. So anyways, we're gonna Heart Swap all the way up here and make our way all the way over here. And inside this house is Darkrai. If you want, you're welcome to go back to Prion Town and heal up, but I feel confident in this, so I'm going to go ahead and save up right here and encounter it. So Darkrai is probably a really, really annoying Pokemon to capture, mainly because it does like to put you to sleep. And Darkrai also has a very respectable special attack. It hits like an absolute truck. But that's not even the wildest thing, and no, it's not that it has Nasty Plot either. Darkrai also has a new ability, and Insurgence. It is a hidden ability. It's called Absolution, which is basically the dark version of Solar Power. So, in Darkness, and that was pretty easy, but in Darkness it gains like a 30% boost to its special attack, but it does lose some of its HP as a cost for that. So after you catch Darkrai, we'll actually have a PC appear here. So if you want, you could actually use that to heal up and whatnot. And you can also use that to grab Darkrai if you would like to use it. I think, where did he go? Oh, he's actually right here. So when you catch it, you'll only have bad dreams, unfortunately, but you could change that if you want. Again, you can see why this is pretty annoying. It Nasty Plots up, it Dark Voids you, and then it Dream Eaters you, which knocks you out pretty much instantly. Although the good news is, if you have a Dark type, then you basically sit on this thing while you capture it. Anyways, the battles aren't actually done yet, so I'm going to go back into our PC. This is actually a really, really cool way to heal up your party, because as soon as we leave this building, it's not even going to be as soon as we walk a certain amount of steps or anything like that. As soon as we leave this building, we are going to end up in another battle. So a great way of healing up your Pokemon is to just shove your Pokemon in the PC, and they should heal up as soon as you pull them out again. This is actually something that speedrunners use all the time, and it's really, really cool to watch, because a lot of them have their own methods of doing it really, really efficiently and really, really quickly, unlike what I'm doing right here. And also, yeah, you can see that my PC is kind of a mess. So as we can see right there, everybody should be healed up now. So I think I might shove Regigigas back in the front here. Maybe show it off just a little bit more. Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and drop a safety save right here. And I think we'll actually be pretty good to go. Probably. Yeah, let's just go with this. So, we're going to make the long trek back to Erebus City. You can't hold out forever, Adam. Would it really be that bad? We can promise you peace. We can promise you tranquility. We can promise you immortality. That's nothing to laugh at. A long life like yours isn't a life worth living. We're not going down easy. I see. Thank goodness you're here. I've been trying to hold them off, but I can't fight on my own forever. I need your help taking them down. They've been attacking Arabis City for days. We've been holding on as best as we can. Will you fight with me? I can battle Mauled if you can battle your friend. Together, I'm sure we can fend them off. Father and son, just like it always should have been. Well, isn't this cute? Damian, deal with him. Maybe this will redeem you for giving them that crystal piece. The one thing we had down here. Don't make this any harder than it has to be, Icy. Make this easy for both of us. Lose. So this is actually isn't really that difficult of a battle, especially on normal mode. I don't know why, but they always butcher Damian's teams on normal mode for some reason. So he's only going to have 4 members. So again, his members kind of depend on what your starter was. You'll always have this Deoxys with pressure, and the Focus Sash has Psycho Boost, Low Kick, Knockoff, and Extreme Speed. So because it has that Focus Sash, I'm just going to go ahead and Power Punch. And that hurt, actually. He might actually knock out Regigigas. I don't want that to happen. I don't really want that to happen. I think I'll just send in Venusaur right here. If he knocks that out, he knocks it out. But I want to give Regigigas a little bit more time to shine just before I kind of kick him out. It's also really important because I don't think I can actually use Regigigas in most of the battle facilities, if I remember correctly. Alright, there we go. So we knocked out the Deoxys. It's kind of annoying. And from there, he's going to send in Metagross. So it's a little bit different Metagross from Persephone's. It has Clear Body, has the Assault Vest, has Meteor Mash, Earthquake, Bullet Punch, Zen Headbutt. Again, it's Assault Vested. It's really, really annoying. But we are Primal Regigigas, so we can just knock it out just like that. Next up, we have Shaman. Shaman is actually really, really interesting here. So I'll send in Lilligant, I guess. So this is Shaman Sky. It has the Serene Grace ability, has Choice Scarf, has Air Slash, Energy Ball, Hidden Power Ice, and Earth Power. Now, depending on what time you fight Damian in, determines the form of Shaman that you actually fight. If you fight him at night, he'll actually have regular Shaman, and it has, I think it still has the same set. So that's actually pretty wild. So I'm just going to go ahead and Hurricane this. Hopefully I hit this. Okay, that's fine. I'll maybe hit the next one. Or not. It'll get the roll on me. That's That's unfortunate. I kind of wanted to just show off Logand a little bit. So I guess we'll jump into showing off Escavalier then. So I'll just go straight for the Choice Banded Play Rough right there. Does a ton of damage. He can try to full restore spam, but it's not going to save him. And finally, the final Pokemon is going to be basically determined based on what you picked your starter as. So I had Charmander, so we have the Shadow Calling, the Delta Blastoise with the Delta Blastoise. I had Stark Pulse, Nasty Plot, Vacuum Wave, and Aura Spear. I don't really think there's anything it can do to Escavalier right here. Oh, I missed. And that hurts a lot. Again, this is normal mode, so very, very easy battle. I think he actually gets every single or 3 different Deoxys forms on hard difficulty, which is actually more fitting. No. Impossible. I'm undefeatable. It's over. We've beaten you both. Icy's caught and partnered up with Darkrai, the ruler of this realm. So, I'm invulnerable, undefeatable. So, I was too, until they sent me here and tried to wipe Icy's memory. It was a clever munchkin around immortality. I'll give them that. But now that we have Darkrai, we can do the same to you. It's over. You're done. You need to leave. Here's what you're going to do. You're going to free my son's friend. I want him normal, got it? Safe and healthy, just as he was before. After that, you're to leave forever. Scramble off to the Badlands. I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. And I want these cultists here cured too. I can take care of them afterwards. That's not a problem. Do it. Now or else. You're a fool. Fine, I'll do it. But you'll regret this, I promise. What happened? You'll regret this, Adam. You're not the augur anymore. Remember that. Can somebody fill me in on what's going on? You're Damian, right? The trainer from Telnor Town. I'll take care of him, Icy. He seems to be a bit out of it. I'm so glad you were able to catch Darkrai. I'm not sure how I would have gotten out of that one otherwise. I can't stress this enough, but you're amazing, Icy. I wish I could have guided you along your journey. I shouldn't have let Jarn and Persephone separate us like that. But somehow, even without me, you've grown into twice the trainer you could have ever been. I'm so proud of you. Listen, I'm going to keep your friend here for the next little while, just to make sure he's okay. I'll have him call you when he's feeling a bit better. Promise. So keep your phone on. Anyways, we've actually completed a lot now at this point, and it's been quite the part. I really, really enjoyed this part, and I'm really glad that we can actually finally head back to the Nightmare Realm, or the Dream Realm, freely, as it were. Also, we just got the call. Hey, it's Damian. Listen, I'm still sorting through all my memories from when I was weird. Trying to piece together what happened, you know? And just today, well, I heard there was a nasty storm in Maelstrom 9. There are some things I remember about that place. Nothing super clear, but I need to see for myself. It would mean the world to me if you'd come with. I might need help with whatever's causing the storms, too. Alright, so there was actually the phone call, which is pretty cool, pretty nice. But anyways, we're going to leave things off for here, for now. we will actually be visiting the Dream Realm and doing some more things down here. I think I mentioned that we skipped over the Relic Song Wall, and there was a couple items that I skipped down there too. So there's a reason why we're going to be going back there. So it's sort of for the sake of efficiency, in a way. Anyways, thank you all so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Hope it helps out. And I will most definitely catch you all on the next one. Peace.